two kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
Was poppin'. Welcome to Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to the YouTube Livey.
It's that time of the week.
Feels so good to say YouTube Livey and not live show no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels so good. But first and foremost, shout out to everybody who's joining us live, who's watching the replay, all that great stuff. Episode 62. Virgil Abloh tribute is officially out today, which is November. Good God, December 7th, depending if you're watching this replay, right? Whole episode just on his lessons, his thoughts, what we think about his thoughts. It was really good. We've gotten really good feedback so far. Shout out to my mom, number one fan. She said one of the best. Winton, shout out to you. You said top 5, others have said really it's up there. It's up there. Wow. So if you have not heard this episode, I highly, highly suggest that you do listen to the episode. Hear me? But Moose, how are we feeling? How we good?
Man, pretty good. Yeah, you as you can see, for those watching, tuning in, I am in a different setting this time around, not my usual home base, on the road today, but feeling pretty good. I'm excited. I got another team training for a retreat, or a retreat team training, I guess you could call it, tomorrow. So I'm setting up shop here on the West Coast and getting ready to knock that out.
He's an official team trainer. Now we not in DC no more. Now we on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Okay. He said, I got to take my talents to the West Coast. This was great. Yeah. This little drive is cute. It's great. I was thinking about getting in, an apartment, a condo somewhere in DC. However, I
might still have to, though. There's still some unfinished business out there. But no, this is fun, though. I think it's cool, man. I'm always shocked at how big Cali is. It's humongous.
Yes.
I know they say everything is bigger in Texas, but dang, Cali is huge.
Facts. So, even though, shout out to TikTok, who continues to show me houses in Texas that is crazy for like $320. Yeah, $320,000. It's like, what?
For like 69 cents. You can
right. Like, what? Here. How did we get here? How?
Right.
So I don't know what TikTok's trying to do to me, right? It's like here, boom, here.
Texas.
You want to see the nice master suite bedroom that you may have with the great backyard that can fit 19 different dogs? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Huh? You want to stay in Virginia? Okay, no doubt. I'm gonna keep tending you all this stuff for $3. What? $3.
Oh man.
Yo, I'm just saying. But it is what it is. Okay, so we have a special announcement, situation, instructions. This is how today is going to go. Actually, I'm going to leave that to Moose. Moose does better with instructions. I'm just hype. Okay, so Moose, tell them what we're doing today.
Yeah, man. Today's really special, man. So this is our first opportunity. We've been granted a pretty cool opportunity to host a live discussion on a new app called the Wisdom app. Basically, think of it. Yeah, absolutely. Big accomplishment. We're super excited for it. Think of it as live mentorship with our community members, right? So our community members and our listeners can tap in and really get live mentorship from us right on the spot. So we're super excited for that. So what we're going to do is at 8:30, we are going to cut the YouTube live from here and continue our conversation directly on the Wisdom app. So here's my suggestion to you right now, right now, while you wait, if you are listening to this and you want to finish the conversation or go with us over onto Wisdom, use your phone and download the app now. Download the app. The app is Wisdom, WISDOM. All right. Download the Wisdom app, create your account, and at 8:30, we're going to jump right over there and carry the discussion from there. So I guess, Nicky, when we're live, they'll just have to follow the account, right? And we'll come up.
Yep. So you can follow either myself at This Is Nicky's, NICKY with an S, or Moose spelled, go ahead, because some people are gonna butcher.
Yeah,
how to spell
Mustafa.
it.
It's gonna be the same as my Instagram, Mustafa_Gonum. You can follow me there, and we'll connect.
Yep.
The discussion.
And so you'll get notified. We're going straight at 8:30. But also, if by any chance that you have to miss it or you're watching this replay, there's going to be a link right in the description in the description of this video that's going to give you the replay to the talk. So not only do you get this half, you'll also be able to tap in and listen to the second half as well, so you don't miss absolutely anything. And it will be on all our social media platforms as well. And we're excited because this is a brand new app, and when it's something new, we got to test it out, let y'all know, have you guys come with us. It's going to be a vibe. So, but let's get into the conversation anyways. Absolutely. What are we talking about?
Absolutely, man. It's that time of the year. I have been devoting a good amount of time to what I call kind of like vision planting, right? And it's really me spending time to not just maybe put my wish list or my goals for the next year, but starting at taking a run through what have I learned this year. All right. I was like, man, there's so much that happens in a 12-month period that you sometimes don't realize how much time there really is in a year until you sit down and you try and remember, like, month by month, what were some of the big things that happened? What were some of the big lessons that I've learned? What are some of the things that I wish I could do differently? There's just a lot that you can learn from that, so that you don't go into your next year possibly repeating some of your same mistakes or not having even any idea what you want to do. So I kind of wanted to do it Nicky and Moose fashion and take the time on tonight's live and really do like a year in review, discussing wins and lessons of just how it went overall, right? I mean, again, granted, we're not officially done with the year, but we're 3 weeks out or whatnot. It's like, it's a good time to start having these types of discussions. So yeah, Nix, I'm curious, tell us a year in review. I mean, it's a lot to kind of summarize into a couple short sentences, but yeah, talk to us about your year and definitely major wins, major lessons. Let's start with the lessons though. Give us some lessons to off the bat with it.
Oh man. Lessons, I would have to say, be aware how long you're going to observe the year. So I say that because we had an interesting year last year, right? And so I didn't know how this year was going to go, right? So there was a lot of time that I observed, kind of just like the climate, the trends, things like that. What was really happening, how people are going outside, who are not, like, and I realized that I spent a lot of time observing than necessarily the execution part, which is different for me, right? And I'm more of an extremist. So there wasn't necessarily a happy medium of like, okay, here's that vibe where you got to switch gears and go into execute mode. I was like, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm still trying to, okay, here's a hello Delta. All right. Hey Delta. Oh, another strand. All right. Oh, wait, we're in December and I'm talking about this still. This is crazy. All right. Just coming to terms that this pandemic is never really ending. It's just, we're just fed up with it. I mean, and we're going outside. So really finding that point, that milestone of like Stop observing and get back to what you normally do. That's one of the biggest lessons that I got this year is, stop. And that's not even me. Like, I just go, right? Let's go. But I didn't want to be exhausted. I didn't want to be exhausted at all this year. And I'm not. I don't feel like, well, okay, this month is a little different. Well, I was like, I don't feel exhausted, but that's a lie. That's
Slightly different this month. Yeah.
But if I wasn't going live 3 a.m., I wouldn't be exhausted. That's a fact. If I was not, I wouldn't feel drained, which is good because normally I'm already tapped out. I'm like, ugh, I can't wait. What are we doing? Why are we here? All this great stuff, right?
At this time of the year, you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. What about you?
What about a win?
I have a few. I think the LinkedIn situation was a huge win. You know what I mean? Some brand deals like we just got, that's a win. A year with the podcast, that's a win. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? 100 is creeping. You know what I mean? 100 is creeping. Almost at 50K with my following. That's creeping.
Hey.
You know what I mean? What else? Just the connections that I've made is a win. There's a lot of wins. Having a clear understanding of what Deeper Than the Brand is and coming out with a mentorship / coaching program, however you want to, talk about it. Just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm very blessed. And very. So.
Yeah, it's definitely been it's been a good year. It's been a good year. I mean, as far as my lessons though, I got quite a few, and I actually want us to maybe expand on some of these, especially some of these might sound very familiar for those of you who are familiar with the flight assessment, because I think I kind of unlocked some things for me as high sea, high air traffic control, that kind of thing. Really spent some time to kind of figure out why are some of the same things repeating themselves? Why do I sometimes jump ship too early, or why do I hang on too long? Why am I missing the sweet spot? So I think there was a lot to discover from there. But two things I'll share, right? Because I legit got my list. Look at this. I guess I got my. I don't know if you can see it.
We see the boldness, but we don't see necessarily.
Yeah. So I've definitely created my list. I've been working on this the last couple of weeks, but let me tell you the two that I think kind of go most in hand. Right. So the first one is build, don't work. Build, don't work.
Build, don't work.
Yeah.
Like BILL? Build?
BILD. Build.
Oh, build. Okay. I was like, build. I was like invoice bill?
Right. Charge people? You mean
hey, how does that not work?
Working?
How
do you do that?
Is that not working?
Yeah. No, but I guess, and in other words, what I meant to say here with that is, like, if it's not sustainable, don't even devote energy to it, kind of thing, right? Because I've kind of had to learn the hard way that a lot of the reason for stopping goals, a lot of the reason for lack of consistency, or just overall frustration and wasted energy, it's because we're excited to quote unquote grind and work, but we're not saying, am I building? Like, am I actually creating an infrastructure for something that's going to be here for a long time?
Yeah.
Am I putting something in place that I can create something on top of it next month, next year, next week, that kind of thing? So that mentality of having to switch from, okay, you're no longer someone who is lazy or not, motivated to work. You're actually, that work mentality is what's killing you. You want to follow more of like this build mentality. So I think that for me was a huge realization, because it started making me kind of pull my hands out of the pot and actually like observe my resources at first and saying, okay, what can I build with what's available for me here, instead of let me just put my hands in the pot and get to work because that's what I grew up, accustomed to or comfortable doing. So
Right.
that was a huge realization. And I think for people going into the new year, especially if you have been working on a particular craft or in a particular industry for multiple years, like you are through your touchy-feely phase. Like if you're over that phase where you're like, oh, I'm just testing, I'm just trying, I just want to see if it's going to work. Like if you're through that phase, you really got to start evaluating how you move and think about, all right, how can I build infrastructure instead of just waking up every day and going to work? Like that's great, but at some point, the building mentality is going to be huge.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
What's the next one? What's the next one? You say you had multiple.
Yeah, well, I kind of combine those two together, right? Build don't work, and if it's not sustainable, don't do it. I'm gonna save a couple for our talk on wisdom too, because
Hey.
I think that's gonna be a lot of fun too.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one that I think is interesting, man, and it's crazy because like this is not a norm for me, or at least it hasn't been for at least for throughout most of my upbringing or through most of my experience. But I'm learning that you got to change, even if it's not what you're accustomed to or accepted as normal. You got to change nonetheless. So this one I said, don't let your money get lazy. You have to invest. So it's following the same mentality, right? It's like ideally you're the one who's accustomed to working to generate revenue or make money.
Yeah.
But you do reach a point in your career or in your journey where there is an overflow. And if you're first generation entrepreneur, business, whatever, you kind of hoard the cash because you're afraid that you can lose it, or that it's going to one day run out of you, or you're not going to be able to continue to generate the same income.
Right.
And that's probably one of the quickest ways to run in place, because we've talked about this a couple of weeks back when we said the big difference between those who are wealthy and those who are making money is that those who are wealthy, they're not doing it for money, but they use money as a resource. So they use money to make more money. They use money to create opportunity. They use money to, even if we talk about, doing conveniences and things like that. But yeah, that was a big one for me too, Nick. It's like, yo, don't let your money get lazy. You just let your money sit there in the bank because it makes you feel safe.
Right.
But you're letting your money build bad money habits by just sitting there without putting it to work, without investing in resources and things of that nature. So I think those two were two big lessons for me this year that I'm excited to do differently next year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm excited to do differently next year. Question for you though, what's one thing that you feel, or not you feel, let's not say it that way. What's one thing that you're just not willing to accept next year? Like come next year, you're like, yo, this part right here, nah, kiddo. Nah, that's 2 years ago. Like that shouldn't even come. That shouldn't have not even come with me to 2021. I let it slide for another year, but yeah, no, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that with me.
Oh man. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Tough question.
It's not a tough question. It's how to word it is tough. Okay. So I think what's easy to answer is this is gonna sound bad. This is gonna sound really bad. And people, please understand my heart, because I don't know how else to say this. But I'm not bringing in two things. One, tasks that are underneath my pay grade. I can't do it. It's exhausting. It doesn't make sense anymore. I think we, as like just me and you, have been talking about delegating and duplicating. But yet I'm still doing a little bit too much. that doesn't make sense. And I would have to say that that needs to stay in 2021. That needs to stay.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, let me. Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Go.
Yeah, no,
Go.
I had a follow up to that. I'm just wondering, like, I feel like maybe it's just me, but part of the reason that makes it difficult to delegate is because, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like sometimes one could think that we don't seem as interested if we delegate something, or it appears as though we're not contributing at such a like deep level
Yes.
if we're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that, like, because it surprised me when we were talking, I think last week when we were recording a podcast, and I was like, yo, like, how does that affect you? And you were like, oh, it doesn't. And I was like, oh, okay, that's different. Like, you know, you would think that, oh, it's heart-wrenching, and it's like, actually, no, I've just learned to accept it at face value. It is what it is. It's no big deal. So for somebody struggling to delegate, I don't know if you feel the same way, but what would you say to that?
So, okay, because I know, and both of us have felt this way. I'm probably even, there's some situations that I can remove myself from, and then there's some that I feel not obligated, but it's like, this is my lane. So why would you let somebody else kind of do it? So what I mean by this is like people who struggle with delegating sometimes, there's two reasons, at least for me. Before it was, you know, I don't want you to think I'm uninterested. I don't want you to think that I'm not here for you. I'm still here. Like I'm still here. Oh, wait, I was about to say my audio's acting crazy. But I'm still here. But by me showing that I'm doing things that doesn't make sense anymore. It was the 2 years ago, Nicky, that I'm still, just to prove that I'm still here. And you kind of have to know your worth of you've given out and served enough. Why are you still doing this? Like, why? Right? And if they don't know your value by now, just stop, right? And then two, you don't necessarily want to burden other people. You don't want to burden other people with the tasks that you used to be doing. And because maybe you feel, well, I'll speak for me. Maybe I feel that if I'm ready to go, right? If I'm ready to go past this task, I feel like the people who I'm going to delegate that to is past it as well. Because I feel like we're equals. So it's harder for me to delegate to certain people because I want them to come on the journey with me past this task. So I'm saying, yo, I'm sorry, woo, woo, woo. But 9 out of 10 times they're saying like, yo, it's fine. What's wrong? It's fine. So that's where I struggle with this. And yeah, I gotta go past that. I gotta go past that for me. And that's why I said I got to let that go. If I can let that go, we're good. You know what I mean? If I can let that go, I'm good.
Yeah, no, big facts. Hey, shout out to some of these comments though in the chat. Shout out to Curt, always showing love, sharing value. Curt the Connector, the one and only. Shout out to Fearless Faith Podcast. He said, my daddy says every dollar you spend should come back pregnant. I like that.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
That's good. Yeah, different spin on it, but we'll take it. That's good. I like that.
All right.
Nick Rich in the building. What up, Mr. Nick? Come on with it.
Shout out to Nick, who is my best friend. Hi, Nick. Hi, Nick. I will say there's one more thing. People in your, I'll say this. People in your close circle that continuously not add value. I'm over that. I can't do it. I can't play Captain Save a human being. I'm not going to say what normally it is. Captain Save a human being. I can't.
Save a human being.
Yeah,
like
no,
okay.
like I've realized that how do I put this? I've realized that by you trying to hold on to the people in the past, it's stopping you from your future. It's stopping you from getting to new levels because you see what they were before, and maybe they're having some hard times, but for how long? And at what point is it, why is it your responsibility? Because now you're putting your life on hold, your progress on hold, in hopes, no guarantee, in hopes that they will come back to life.
Right.
And let them just catch up. Just let them catch up. If they're supposed to be right by your side like they were before, let them catch up. But you have to show the way, or both of you going to stay in the same level. So I can't bring individuals into 2022 that I've like, it's just not adding value and has been the same way for a while, but they used to be a certain kind of way. And so you don't want to give up on, I have that problem, like just giving up on people, because I feel like don't give up on me. I may have a hard time, but several years of a hard time is just, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. That's just me.
I mean, that might be one of the things we take over the wisdom. I don't know.
Let's do it.
That's a
Let's
tough
do it.
scenario. No, for sure. Shout out to Erica for it too. What up, Erica? We see you. That response is the most New York response ever. Yeah, nah. That's not New York right there. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Which really means hell nah. Like
Yeah.
nah means
Yeah, nah.
big no. I
Yeah,
saw a
we ain't-
meme about that. Like,
we ain't doing it.
What New Yorkers mean when they say that? Yeah, nah. Like,
Yeah,
no.
nah.
That's double no. Ignore the yeah in the phrase. That's
Facts.
a double no.
Facts. What about you?
I love it. Like things I'm not taking into 2022.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, I have to say boundaries.
Okay.
I have to say boundaries. And it's so, there's like so many levels to it, but what I've learned is that boundaries, and there was a quote that I think we shared, boundaries are not for the other person, it's really for you, because it helps protect kind of your self-worth and your self-value. When there are no boundaries, when there's no wall or door, that's a space that people can walk into at any moment, anytime, without knocking, without setting an appointment, right? Without really taking it serious. If you think about it, most spaces like that, they're often spaces that people don't really take seriously, right? Or they take for granted, or they don't value. Why? Because if you're not there now, I can come back later. Or if I have something to do, I don't have to honor my appointment. I can just go do what I got to do and come back to that later, because you're always open, you're always available, you're always there. So to some extent, it's like, oh, that's great. Like, this person is consistent, they're always here, they're always available. But I think at some point, the thing that many don't realize is that on the other side of that is people abusing access in a relationship because they know that you'll always be there. So the one thing that I'm realizing going into 2022 is not to navigate any networks without some concrete boundaries in place, because again, access to your world, to any of our worlds, is a privilege. It's not like a standard, thing. It's not like, oh yeah, it's typical, that's what everyone does. It's like, no, that's not it. So for sure, 2022, boundaries gotta come up.
So what? I I knew we had a title for the wisdom room, but then you said we were going to bring it to wisdom. So are we going to say what we not bringing into 2021, 2022? Or are we still going to leave it?
No, there's a few more, but I'll we'll pick up on that one piece though, as far as just the whole people situation. I think that we'll finish that convo in there and share a couple more.
So leave it as end of the year. Okay, and I literally erased it. I was like, oh, we're saying now it's what we're not bringing into 20.
I'm sorry, no, because you had something else. No. You're right. That's my bad. We just talked about it before I did this. No.
Yeah.
I completely forget what I said. No.
He said completely forget what I said.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I said that. Indeed.
Okay, so what's it? So what are you not bringing into? I'll say what not to bring in. What?
No. Keep what we talked about in the beginning. I'm sorry. No, that's my bad. Because I forgot we just said that before we got on. No, that's my bad, y'all.
Okay.
That's my bad.
So we're going to go to wisdom now, right? We're going to call the room. What? I don't even know what this is called anymore. End of the year review, branding, and business vibes.
There you go.
There we go. End of the year review, branding and business vibes. We're about to go on wisdom right now. All right, jump on the app, download it. I'm hearing it's only iPhone only, so Android people, we apologize. But follow both of us, same as our regular usernames at This Is Nicky's, NICKY with an S. And then Moose, say your username.
Mustafa _Gonum. So just my name spelled out MOSTAFA _Gonum GHONIM.
And for our replay people, go into the comments after this, and you will hear the conversation that we're doing in wisdom. All right. Love you guys. You already know what we're going to say.
Peace out.
Mahalo.